Alphabet's Loon is known for its internet balloons, but it worked on an entirely balloon-less project as part of its partnership with SoftBank's HapsMobile. The two formed a long-term strategic relationship back in April of 2019, with HapsMobile investing $125 million in the Alphabet company. Now, the partners have announced that they've successfully designed and developed a communications payload for HapsMobile's solar-powered stratospheric unmanned aircraft system, also known as the Hawk 30. To be precise, they adapted the technology already being used by Loon's balloons to turn Hawk 30 into a stratospheric cell tower. They had to tweak the communications payload a bit so that its antenna can rotate more quickly. That rotation is necessary to keep a stable connection, but the plane is much faster than Loon's balloons. They also had to create an aerodynamic housing to protect the antenna. In addition, the improved communications payload uses a custom-designed LTE system that gives Hawk 30 the capability to deliver LTE connectivity to phones and other devices. When the companies announced their partnership last year, they said that with the deployment of such technology, people will be reachable in areas where connectivity is lacking, such as mountainous terrain, remote islands, and developing countries. The coronavirus seems to be affecting pretty much every industry right now and is continuing to have a tangible impact on tech. Nintendo has warned that the virus will result in inevitable production and shipment delays for the Switch in Japan. That includes Joy-Con controllers and Ring Fit Adventure. Accordingly, it postponed Japanese reservations for the Animal Crossing Switch from February 8th to an unspecified date. Pre-orders for the game itself weren't affected, however. We can confirm that the manufacturing of some Nintendo products for the Japanese market has been delayed due to the impact of the 2019 coronavirus outbreak. That comes from the company in a statement to Engadget. Nintendo does not anticipate a significant impact on our broader global supply chain for systems and accessories at this time, however, and product sales in North America and Europe, including pre-orders, are not affected. We would like to express our concern and support for all those affected by the coronavirus during this challenging time. Containing the virus clearly takes top priority, and Nintendo isn't going to be the only company affected. Apple suppliers in China like Foxconn and Quanta aren't expected to resume full production until around February 10th, for instance. This is just one of the more conspicuous examples, and it won't be surprising if more tech companies delay products until and unless it's evident the coronavirus is under control. According to the World Health Organization, antibiotic resistance is one of the biggest threats to global health. Sensing and treating bacterial infections earlier could help improve patients' recovery, as well as curb the spread of antibiotic-resistant microbes. Now, researchers reporting in ACS Central Science have developed color-changing bandages that can sense drug-resistant and drug-sensitive bacteria in wounds and treat them accordingly. Researchers developed a material that changes color from green to yellow when it contacts the acidic microenvironment of a bacterial infection. In response, the material, which is incorporated into a bandage, releases an antibiotic that kills drug-resistant bacteria. Now, if drug-resistant bacteria are present, the bandage turns red in color through the action of an enzyme produced by the resistant microbes. When this happens, the researchers can shine light on the bandage, causing the material to release reactive oxygen species that kill or weaken the bacteria, making them more susceptible to antibiotics. This is awesome. The team showed that the bandage could speed the healing of wounds in mice that were infected with drug-sensitive or drug-resistant bacteria. And hopefully, before we know it, humans will get to use this very same technology as well. In this week's medical news, researchers from Japan's Osaka University have announced the successful completion of a first-of-its-kind heart transplant. Rather than replacing their patient's entire heart with a new organ, these researchers placed degradable sheets containing heart muscle cells onto the heart's damaged areas. And if the procedure has the desired effect, it could eventually eliminate the need for some entire heart transplants. Now, to grow the heart muscle cells, the team started with induced pluripotent stem cells, or shortened to iPS. These are stem cells that researchers create by taking an adult's cells, often from their skin or blood, and then reprogramming them back into their embryonic-like pluripotent state. Now, at that point, researchers can coax the ISP cells into becoming whatever kind of cell they'd like. In the case of this Japanese study, the researchers created heart muscle cells from the ISP cells before placing them on small sheets. Now, the patient who received the transplant suffers from a condition in which a person's heart has trouble pumping because its muscles don't receive enough blood. In severe cases, the condition can require a heart transplant. But the team from Osaka University hopes that the muscle cells on the sheet will secrete a protein that helps generate blood vessels, thereby improving the patient's heart function. This is fascinating. The researchers plan to monitor the patient for the next year, and they hope to conduct the same procedure on 9 other people suffering from the same condition within the next 3 years. Now, if all goes well, the procedure could become a much-needed alternative to heart transplants. Not only is sourcing iPS cells far easier than finding a suitable donor heart, but a recipient's immune system is more likely to tolerate the cells than an entire new organ. X-ray scans are unavailable for most people on Earth, 2/3 of them according to 2012 WHO data. Now, in part, this is due to the sheer cost of the machines themselves. The superheated filament in conventional X-ray machines requires so much energy and heat that it costs millions of dollars just to keep the patient safe. Nanox might just have a better way to make these scans widely available, though. It's introducing the Nanox Arc, an X-ray machine that looks like a Star Trek biobed and promises to lower the cost to low 5-digit figures. Where familiar X-ray techniques are effectively analog and involve bulky arrays of rotating tubes, Nanox is using a digital system that's much cooler and can get away with stationary tubes that are much smaller and cheaper. The only thing that needs to move is the gantry holding the X-ray ring as it scans different parts of the body. Now, the business model could shake things up too. Instead of asking customers to buy machines outright, Nanox is hoping to offer devices on a pay-per-scan basis, where the company offers AI-based analysis and cloud services to clinics and hospitals. That would entail recurring costs, but it could still be far more affordable than purchasing a machine costing orders of magnitude more. Nanox didn't say when it expected to make the scanners available, although it did hope to deploy 15,000 units in the, quote, near term. It just got $26 million in extra funding from Foxconn, though, and it has a clear goal. It wants to give everyone an X-ray scan per year as a preventative step. Ideally, you'd spot cancer and other hidden medical issues early enough to get effective treatment, rather than waiting until there's a conspicuous sign of trouble.